Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, let's do some bookkeeping. Usually I'll go over what is tax deductible. So in this video, let's do the opposite. Let's do what's non-deductible because I don't want you to be taking deductions that could get you in trouble. Before I get started, my name is Jeanette Andrada and I help therapists in private practice save the most in taxes while also feeling confident and organized. What I'm going to go over is what I see clients attempting to deduct, or when I see prospective clients, or just hear people talking on the internet and going over deductions that they should not be taking. Let's go over some common ones. The first one that we are going to go over are personal meals. I see this all the time. This is something we do have to be very careful with. It's tempting to deduct a meal when you're working. However, that's not going to work. And I see this a lot for practitioners that go off and do like admin work at a coffee shop or anything like that. And they go and buy some coffee, maybe get a muffin, a bagel, and they are alone, they are not with anybody, and they end up just deducting it as a business expense. Let's say you have an employer. Instead of you being self-employed, you have an employer and you go to your coffee shop and you buy some coffee. Your employer is not going to buy you coffee just because. That would be your expense. So I want you to think about it like that. So when could you take this tax deduction? When could you? Because you could take meals. However, they have to be business meals. There has to be a business purpose to that meals. Example could include if you're networking with a colleague or if you're meeting with your accountant. Like if we meet and you buy me, dinner, or I buy you dinner, then that's going to be tax deductible for one of us. And this could be a good way to network and to get to know somebody over, dinner or over a cup of coffee, and you get the tax deduction. What you want to do to be compliant is you want to get your receipt and you want to write down the time, the location, which should already be printed on there, and you want to put what the business meal was, and you're going to write on there, no, I met with Justine to go over marketing expenses, and that's going to be it. I would recommend just scanning it and saving it in like Google Drive, or you could use like a receipt capture feature, and you are able to take that as a meal deduction. That's how you're going to do it the right way and not get in trouble for deducting your meal. Next thing we're going to go over are commuting costs or travel. Well, sometimes what I notice is that business owners might feel like they could write off the travel between their home and to wherever their location is. We don't want to do that. We don't want to take the deduction if it's somewhere that we are going to go. So think about it again. You have an employer, you are at home, and you drive to the office. Your employer's not going to reimburse you because it's not considered a travel expense. So that's something to keep in mind. There's more that goes on with travel expenditures and travel write-offs, but I'll make a different video. Another one that is missed quite a bit are fines and penalties. We cannot write off fines and penalties. So as an example, if you have a company vehicle and you get pulled over and you get a ticket and you pay for that ticket, then you are not going to be able to deduct it. And anytime that you are penalized, like they don't let you take it off. Hopefully you're not getting any fines or penalties, but if you do, then that's not going to be a tax write-off. Oh, okay. So another one that's a really good one are personal and family expenses. So anything that's primarily for personal gain is not going to be a write-off. And this includes like the really big ones that I run into all the time is going to be makeup, clothes, like and like doing like your hair, like going to the salon, things like that. That is not a write-off, guys. Even if you create YouTube videos and you have to look a certain way. It's funny that there's a case of a newscaster or like a newswoman, what is it, a news anchor. So there's a case with this news anchor that she was writing off like her makeup, her hair, her outfits, because the argument was like, I have to look good on TV. The IRS ruled that she is not eligible for those write-offs, so it was added back and she had to pay taxes and all that. But I do get this a lot for some reason, and that I always have to go with the same thing. Like you can't, you can't do it unless it's for primarily for business. So if you go to Ulta and you buy makeup too, because you're going to have a photo shoot, then that makeup is not a tax write-off. And that's because you could use that for personal. Now, for a photographer or for a makeup artist that, uses makeup for their clients, then yes, we could absolutely write that off. Clothes, again, even if it's just for a photo session, we could write off like maybe a rental, right? You rented this just for your photo session, but if you have clothes, you go spend $300 on a dress, then you keep it after your photo session. It's primarily going to be used for personal. That would be cool because I would go get a lot more manicures and pedicures. It would be really cool. But unfortunately, the IRS does not agree. Well, there you have it. Those are very common non-deductible expenses. It's really important, guys, to know not only what you could deduct, but what you could not deduct. I don't want you guys to ever get in trouble with the IRS. They'll end up adding it back and to your income, and you're going to have to pay taxes and get penalized and all that stuff. So just make sure when you're writing things off, if you're not familiar or you're not sure, then reach out to your bookkeeper or to a bookkeeper, a tax person, just to make sure that it is a write-off, it's legitimate, and you don't get in trouble. All right, guys, stay out of trouble. I will talk to you next time.